If you were to ask me in the early 1980s what was the best place to live in America, I would have told you without hesitation, Fresno, California. My wife and I moved there from the Bay Area, where we had been living in a little house that we bought for $40,000 in 1976. The commute to work in San Jose was becoming unbearable, so we packed up our 2 kids, one station wagon and a pickup truck, and moved to Fresno in September of 1980. Fresno was not just the best place to live in America in the 1980s. It was also the best place to raise a family. Back then, we found a nice 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in a decent neighborhood for $75,000. My wife could get a job as a secretary making $25,000 a year, and I could work as an electrical contractor and make 5 times that amount. In today's world, if you want to buy a home near Fresno for the same $75,000, you're going to find something that looks like this. It's going to be about 950 square feet or so. It's built in 1960. But the crime rate is only 38% higher than the national average, which makes it a really good deal. God, if you bought that house in 1984, $75,000, paid off your mortgage in 30 years, you would now be able to sell that house for around $250,000. So you look at that, that's a pretty good investment over 30 years. But how much do you think that same house would cost today if you were to purchase it brand new? The median home price in the United States today is $448,000. In 1980, the median home price was $90,000. So basically, we've seen home prices double in the last 40 years. But that increase has been accompanied by a lot of other changes. So here are the top 10 things that Fresno got wrong in the 1980s. Number 10, education. When we moved to Fresno in the early 1980s, my oldest son was enrolled in kindergarten at Heaton Elementary School. Back then, there were 6 students in his kindergarten class, and there was a full-time teacher and a full-time teacher's aide. Fast forward to 2023 in Fresno Unified School District, which includes Heaton Elementary School, has a total enrollment of about 75,000 students. They have 13 high schools, 5 middle schools, and 36 elementary schools within their district. They also employ nearly 5,000 teachers. So it's safe to say that Fresno Unified has gotten a lot bigger since my son started kindergarten in 1980. Number 9, jobs. Fresno has always had jobs. Back in the 1980s, when we moved there, they had the Kaiser Steel Mill, which was a huge employer. They had packing houses, and agriculture was a big thing in Fresno. Even though those industries are still there today, they don't employ nearly as many people as they did back then. Today, the largest employer in Fresno is the University of California, which employs about 14,000 people. No, 2 is Community Medical Centers, which is a healthcare provider with about 12,000 employees. Next, we have Fresno Unified School District with nearly 10,000 employees. Then we have Kaiser Foundation Hospitals with 6,700 employees, and then County of Fresno with about 5,000 employees. So we can see that these days most of the jobs in Fresno are in healthcare. This is probably because we have an aging population, so healthcare always does well when baby boomers start retiring. Number 8, crime. In the early 1980s, crime wasn't a major problem in Fresno. We lived in a nice neighborhood, and we never really worried about crime. Of course, that doesn't mean that there wasn't any crime. We had the occasional car that got broken into or a house that got robbed. But overall, it was a pretty safe place to live. These days, it's a whole different story. Property crime rates in Fresno are 39% above the national average, and violent crime rates are 106% above the national average. To put that into perspective, in 2021, the national average for property crimes was 31.7 for every 1,000 residents. That number in Fresno is 46.4 for every 1,000 residents. Violent crime rates across the U.S. in 2021 were 3.7 for every 1,000 residents. In Fresno, that number is 7.7 for every 1,000 residents. No, 7. Traffic. Traffic in Fresno hasn't really changed all that much since the 1980s. Maybe it's a little bit worse. These days, if you want to travel downtown, you might want to allow an extra 5 minutes for traffic. But other than that, traffic really hasn't changed that much. But the thing is, traffic's going to get a lot worse in Fresno. According to the American Automobile Association, traffic congestion will get 44% worse over the next 30 years. California in general is going to get a lot more congested. And that's because they have a growing population. You see, between 2023 and 2050, The population of California is expected to grow by about 11 million people. That's about 30% growth. Most of that growth is going to occur in the cities. The biggest city in California is Los Angeles, which is already the most congested city in the nation. So yeah, traffic everywhere is going to get a lot worse. No. 6. Air quality. Back in the 1980s, air quality wasn't really a concern in Fresno. There weren't any major reports of bad air quality or anything like that. These days, it's a whole different story. Just take a look at this. Air quality index in Fresno right now is 159, and that's considered hazardous. In fact, air pollution is such a problem in Fresno, they have an air quality alert system. So when the air quality gets bad, they send out alerts to everyone in the area if you have any sort of respiratory problems. You should definitely stay indoors if you can and avoid strenuous activity outdoors. No. 5. Healthcare. Back in the 1980s, healthcare was a lot more affordable in Fresno. In fact, it was a lot more affordable throughout the entire country. These days, healthcare is extremely expensive in Fresno and throughout the rest of the country as well. So basically, we're seeing the same trend across the entire nation, not just in Fresno. I remember back in the 1980s, a doctor's visit used to cost about $25. Now it costs anywhere from $75 to $150 just to walk into a doctor's office. And that doesn't even include any medications or anything like that. No. For housing. Like I said earlier in this video, housing has basically doubled in price in Fresno since the 1980s. Not only have home prices doubled, but rental prices have gone up as well. Back in the 1980s, you could rent a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in Fresno for about $550 a month. These days, you're looking at around $1,400 a month. No. 3. Utilities. Utility prices have also doubled in Fresno since the 1980s. In fact, they've probably gone up a lot more than that. When we lived in Fresno in the 1980s, our monthly utility bill was about $70 a month. It included electricity, gas, water, and garbage collection. These days, our utility bill is about $250 a month, and that's in a much smaller home, so we're not even using as much energy as we did back then. No. 2. Groceries. Grocery prices have also doubled in Fresno since the 1980s. Back then, we could go to the grocery store and buy a week's worth of food for about $35. These days, you're looking at around $70. And that's if you're not eating very good. And no. 1 on our list is gasoline. Back in the 1980s, a gallon of gas cost about $1.15. These days, it's about $4.50. So as you can see, prices have really gone up in Fresno since the 1980s. And that's not just limited to Fresno. That's happening all over the country. So if you're wondering why people are struggling to pay their bills these days, it's because everything is more expensive than it used to be. Wages have not kept pace with inflation, so people are struggling. Well, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Now go out, have a great day, and be nice to each other.